everyone, my name is Sophia Ellis and welcome to Night Course. Alright everyone, our topic of discussion today is necrophilia. This is when you have sex with dead bodies. I know, it's a little out there. Let's talk about it. Alright, let's get into it. There are two different types of necrophilia. The first type is called genuine necrophilia. And there are three types. We have necrophilic homicide, where an individual kills the person they want to have sexual intercourse with. Regular necrophilia is where an individual has sexual intercourse with an already dead body. And then there are necrophilic fantasies, where people fantasize about sexual intercourse with dead bodies. The second type of necrophilia is pseudonecrophilia. This is a short-term attraction to a corpse, and these people tend to prefer sexual contact with living partners. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the history of necrophilia. It actually dates back all the way to ancient Egypt. They would wait about 2 to 3 days before giving the corpses of beautiful women to embalmers due to the fear that they would sexually assault their bodies. The term necrophilia was actually not first used until 1950 by Belgian psychiatrist Joseph Buslain. However, the first description of necrophilia was given in 1886 by Richard von Krafft-Ebing, in which he said, necrophilia was mentally sound, yet freaky. That brings me to my next topic of discussion, which is the common characteristics. I reviewed a study that looked into 122 different cases of necrophilia, whether it be genuine necrophilia or pseudonecrophilia. The average age of people who performed necrophilia was about 34. 92% of cases were male, and all of the necrophilic homicides were performed by men. 64% of these cases had prior sadistic history, and the highest rate of these cases were among the individuals who were performing necrophilic homicide. In addition, 50% of the samples had a previous diagnosis with a personality disorder. People with necrophilia tend to work at the hospital, morgue, or cemetery. The most common reason for performing these acts was to have an unresisting and unrejecting partner, although multiple motives were used most of the time. Other reasons people may have performed these acts was in order to try to reunite with previous partners, as well as to try to overcome their isolation. Therefore, the following reasons could be potential predictors for why people became necrophilic. The first one is if someone has low self-esteem and they feel really isolated, then they may result to this. There are many other reasons why people may become necrophilic. One reason is for men to fear rejection. If they have been rejected multiple times in their life by women, they may seek an object or an individual who can no longer reject them, thus a dead body. Another reason why people may become necrophilic is because they fear the dead. In order to face their fear, they may start to desire and start fantasizing about the dead. Fantasies can also exist when people are exposed to these corpses. They can start having sexual fantasies about the corpse, which thus leads them to perform intercourse with them. Now I would like to discuss the different treatments for necrophilia. The first thing doctors will probably do is to see what they have done. If they have committed necrophilic homicide, then they will probably go straight to the court systems. If they have not killed anyone, then psychotherapy is very important. They need to learn how to establish healthy sexual and social relationships with other people. A medication that lowers libido may also be beneficial in this type of situation as well. Thank you for sitting through that depiction of necrophilia in pop culture. I just wanted to show that there is very much a lot of stigmatism around this idea. This brings me to my next topic of discussion, which has to do with the ethics of necrophilia. Is it really disrespectful to the person? Is it morally wrong? Do they really need consent? Do we really need to have respect for the dead? The first thing I would like to discuss is the problem of personal identity. According to John Locke, the body is separate from the person, or the soul. So when you die, your person or your soul is practically ejected from the body. You can compare this to a plane and pilot situation, where the plane is the body and the pilot is the person or the soul. And when the plane is about to crash, or when the plane is about to die, the pilot is then ejected from the plane and lands safely on the ground. Or not, perhaps he dies too. Okay, but my point is, you're not disrespecting the person because the person is separate from the body.
The next issue I would like to discuss is the problem of moral status.
According to a philosopher at San Francisco State University, in order to have a moral status, you need to be able to have emotions and feelings, you need to be able to reason and communicate and have self-awareness. Therefore, corpses do not have moral status, so it's not morally wrong.
But moving away from that, I would like to discuss the next issue, which is the problem of consent.
Because the person has no moral status or personal identity, you don't really need consent. As a way to demonstrate this concept, I would like to first discuss a case that happened in Wisconsin where a group of individuals tried to dig up a body and have sexual intercourse with it. The state tried charging these individuals with sexual assault, claiming that the body could not consent. However, being that the statute at the time was very ambiguous, they could not charge them with that assault.
The final issue I would like to discuss is the problem of disrespecting the dead.
When people respect the dead, they are respecting the memory of that person. However, it is good to note that the person is separate from the body, so you are not disrespecting the person when you are committing necrophilic activity. Alright everyone, before I end here, I just want to let everyone know that I am not trying to encourage necrophilia in any shape or form, but we must remain sex positive towards the different views of it. However, I am most definitely not positive about necrophilic homicide. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope everyone learned a thing or two about necrophilia that they did not know before. Thank you so much.